Fon's the new head coach of Leicestershire. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I am very excited. You know, it wasn't something that was planned. I was quite adamant when I took over as interim head coach that I wasn't going to apply. And it was something towards the end, you know, that has definitely swayed me. Conversations I've had with people close to me outside of the game that I've had conversations about, and they've posed the question, asked me certain things, why and why not now. You know, I've had this journey in my head that I was going to do my sort of apprenticeship for the next 10 years, which I'm 2 years early. And I thought there was a moment in Durham, you know, where James Taylor and I were out for a meal, and then all of the lads came into the same restaurant all together, you know, and that was the moment for me that I thought, we're nearly there, you know, where that wouldn't have happened in the past, where the whole team would have come out together on their own. And I thought it will be a real shame if I don't give it a go.
It's been something that's quite evident from being on the inside, seeing how closely knit this group is. Is that something that you've tried to foster over the last few months, you know, make this squad a real unit?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, we talked a lot about the culture of the team, you know, but to be able to achieve the culture long term, the short term goal is the environment, you know, and we had to make sure that we create the environment for the guys to be the best versions of themselves, but to also be willing to do it together. And I think within the space of time that we've achieved that, you know, it is something that gives us a good foundation to build on.
The change that obviously you were quite keen to implement was giving the guys a lot of ownership on their own game when it comes to training and being sort of facilitators rather than sort of having to nurture them completely. Is that sort of a big change you put into the lads?
Yeah, it was something. It wasn't a big change, so to speak. It was just something that we gave the players a voice. You know, we sat down with Hilly, with the senior group within the team, and we just asked them what they wanted from us and what we can do to help facilitate them. You know, and we know county cricket's a long season. You know, that comes with the territory. And towards the end of a season, you start getting mentally fatigued, not so much physically fatigued. You know, so we thought that it was a good opportunity for us to allow guys to stay fresh. And how we did that was we organised a lot more one-to-one coaching instead of guys coming in the morning and being in for 3 or 4 hours at a time. So we allowed guys to come in on a one-to-one basis, and then they could then go and spend time with their family, go and spend time away from the game.
So much of that work was done alongside James Taylor, who's now assistant coach and batting coach. How did that dynamic work between the two of you?
Yeah, no, I think the two of us complement each other really well. You know, I'm more the hard nut, you know, and where James makes up and complements me well, he's more the one that comes from the empathy angle, you know. And don't get me wrong, he's no pushover, and that's an area where I can improve on. But the two of us work well. We communicate well, you know, and we're very clear on where we want to take this team, and we don't just want this team to be successful short term. We want this team to be successful in the long run.
Obviously, you did taste success pretty early on in your time with the One Day Cup win, a really special campaign and day for the whole club. Could you sense early on that this side was geared towards success in that format?
Yeah, most definitely. I think that was probably the one advantage of this team not playing well in the T20s, which meant not a lot of our players got called up to go into the 100, so we were very fortunate with that. But even saying that, we still had to go and implement our game plans. And how we did that was we just gave players clarity in their roles, which was key. You know, we felt in the T20s at times, guys were a bit clouded. They weren't sure who was doing what. So we gave them clarity. And even the players we brought in knew exactly, you know, if I think at the top of my head, Utsam, who came in for 2 games, he knew that there was an opportunity for him to play when we got to the Aegeus Bowl, which is a bigger ground, and I know spinners were successful there. At Old Trafford, again, it's a bigger ground. Spinners are a lot more successful. So we gave guys a heads up early doors of where they could play. You know, I think back to a conversation I had with Roman. You know, he's come off the back of taking 6 wickets against Kent. You know, but we felt at the time that we needed the spinner to play at Old Trafford. You know, and how we took it, yes, he was disappointed, but he knew the team needed for us to play another spinner. And the team bought into each other's success. You know, there was a real unity within that team going throughout the competition. And then there were questions asked why we didn't pick Rahan, we didn't pick Callum, and that was a decision that was made before we got to the knockout stages, that we were only going to pick the guys that played in the group games. And Hilly, to his credit, was adamant that he believes that the cricket gods will smile on us if we stick to our guns, and it's was just so good to see a guy like Swinney and a guy like Sam, who came in for those 2 guys at the time, and for Pete, that we didn't have Pete, for them to basically win us the game, gave us a fantastic feeling that we stuck to our guns, we stuck to our principles, and to come out on the other side successful was even sweeter.
And alongside that 50 over success, obviously the 4-day form saw a drastic improvement across 2023 right from the start. How do you reflect on our season with the Red Bull?
Yeah, there was an improvement. You know, we certainly made strides. We probably didn't finish off the way we would have liked to. You know, a couple of factors contributed to that, losing a few players, this, that, and the other. You know, and there are certain aspects that we want to improve on that I don't want to go into now, because opposition might try and exploit that, but we've identified certain areas that we would like to improve on. You know, we just feel that this team at times almost wait until the chips are down, then they fight. You know, so we would like to start games better. There were certain times where we lost games in a period of an hour and a half. You know, so if we can try and improve on that and stay in the game for a bit longer and just compete better in those key moments, you know, we believe that we can build on what has been a successful season in 4-day cricket.
Looking at the tools you have with you, obviously you've got a really nice blend now of senior players, the likes of Lewis Hill with his leadership, Chris Wright, Peter Hanscom, and then the younger guys. We saw Rishi Patel and Josh Hall, for example, have a really good breakout season last year. How do you assess the balance of the squad at the moment?
I'm very excited with the squad that we assemble. You know, and it gives us an opportunity for this club to play a brand of cricket that's exciting. You know, and that is where we want to go with this team, is to play a brand of cricket that the people of Leicester can be proud of, and that we can have people queuing up to come and watch this team play. You know, and to be able to do that, we need to have a certain type of player, and the players that we've got in is not just good players; they're good characters. You know, they've got fighting traits, which is exactly something that we want.
Obviously, you've got a tough winter ahead now, but it is where the season is made, putting the hard yards in the indoor school and across those months. How excited are you to work with the squad again for that period of time? Yeah,
we are certainly looking forward to it. We going to do it a bit differently this year. You know, we are going to adopt the mantra quality before quantity this year. So we're going to give guys a lot more personal attention instead of coming in as groups. Guys are going to come in one-to-one basis and focus on the quality aspect of improving the game and upskilling these guys for the summer.
And just finally, obviously we saw with the one-day cup success in particular, your Klopp-style celebrations in front of the fans have obviously been very supportive of you. What's your message to them with this announcement?
Yeah, I just think that we want to give them a team that they can be proud of. You know, that they can come and support day in, day out, and that is the one thing that we want to do is to give people of Leicester a team that they can be proud of.